seems that the debates have been narrowed down to the two corporate candidates.
Well, the debate commission is designed to exclude all competitors except the Republican Democratic candidates on the stage. And it was designed that way because it's a corporation created 21 years ago by the Republican Democratic Party. And they don't like any competition on the stage. They let Ross Perot in 1992 and he shot up in the polls. So what we've got to do is bypass this debate commission because you can't do anything about it because it is not within the Bill of Rights because it's a private company with a fancy sounding name. So I'm pleased to know that Google is expressing interest and they're very likely to have a debate on September 18th in New Orleans through their YouTube subsidiary. So you have Yahoo and YouTube and others can deliver a significant audience now to break the grip. Just amazing how a country of our size, of our pretension, of our diversity, of our compelling issues inside the country and around the world rations presidential debates. We don't ration weather reports. We don't ration entertainment. We don't ration sports events. But we ration presidential debates. You know, if you're 60th seed in Wimbledon, you got a chance to play in center court, right? If you're the 60th team in the NCAA, you got a chance for the Final Four. But if you're the third candidate in terms of polls, Nader Gonzalez being the third, you can't even get on any debates. This is what I mean by dictatorial, exclusionary control by these two corrupt parties who have allowed our government to be hijacked by giant corporations that don't have any allegiance to our country anymore, other than to control it or abandon it to China with industry and jobs and other fascist and communist dictators. And the whole thing is so grotesque. There isn't anybody who would have predicted 20, 25 years ago what's happening to our country.
How do we, as citizenry, break that hold, and how do we get the information out?
First, we don't exaggerate our futility. We don't exaggerate what it takes to get control of our government. We start with the most powerful branch of Congress, of our federal government, which is Congress. 535 men and women, senators, representatives, who put their shoes on every day like you and I. 1,500 corporations, not one of which has a vote. They have power and money, pretty much get their way with the majority of 535 men and women. See how I'm reducing it to scale? And we're millions out there. And 2,000 people organized in each of the 435 congressional districts into a tight Congress citizens lobby. And I mean a real tight club that knows the directions that our country has to go in. Health care and living wage and respect for the taxpayer money so it returns to the taxpayer, and community services and getting out of Iraq and cutting the bloated, wasteful military budget and stripping the corporations, which are artificial entities, from constitutional rights and opening up the debates. That's all can be done. You know, I'm looking for an intensity among those 2,000 people equivalent to bird watcher groups. That's all. Just give me that intensity. You know bird watchers? You ever meet a real intense bird watcher? Up at dawn, into the marshes, binoculars, pen, pad, camera. I mean, again and again. And that's what we've got to do. We want the Congressional Civic Lobby equivalent of bird watchers groups, intensity.
Congress watchers.
Yeah.
With the pad and the pen and the binoculars.
That's right.
Up at dawn.
And that's what we're going to try to stimulate after the November election if we get a real groundswell of support. See, the real problem in this country is the demoralization of people. They basically somehow figured out what isn't true, which is that they don't have any power, which is nonsense. They don't have any power when they believe they don't have any power, when they don't organize, when they don't focus, when they've always got something else to do that's more important than building a strong democratic society. Of course, they're going to have a lot more to do as a society crumbles on them. They're going to have a lot more to do in trying to make ends meet and trying to deal with health care and aging parents who are sick and congested highways and all the rest of the kind of awful daily life people are subjected to.
So changing the paradigm of the people on the street to realize that they're empowered and not disempowered as they've been convinced.
It helps to look back in American history where a few took on the many and mobilized people against slavery, women's right to vote, the great populist farmer worker movements and parties, and all these little parties could get on the ballot in the 19th century much easier than now. And they never won a national election, but they really began the spark of change. I mean, I was just down at the Rosa Parks Museum in Montgomery, Alabama, in honor of Rosa Parks. In 1955, she went on the bus and sat in the front of the bus, and the bus driver said, "You've got to go to the back of the bus because you're a Negro." And she says, "I'm not going. I'm not moving." And then a white man came and he said, "You've got to give up your seat to me." She said, "I'm not going. I'm not moving." She was arrested, and then there was this huge strike by African-American riders, which was 3/4 of the riders, the Montgomery bus boycott, and that launched the 1950s civil rights movement. You see, again and again, 1, 2, 5, as long as they represent passively cultivated sentiments of people, and suddenly a thing just arises. I mean, it's a matter of self-respect. I mean, I don't know how people can take it every day. They get pushed around, disrespected, marginalized, excluded, overcharged, underpaid. They phone to get some complaint, and it's press 1, press 2, press 3, press 1, press 2. And they have to realize that they do far more difficult things in life than be active, organized citizens. They have to make ends meet. They have 2.5 jobs, or they have to commute. They have to raise children. Try that one. They have to rescue children from the streets. They have to take care of an ailing parent or grandparent. They have to find daycare. They do a lot of things more difficult. They have got to give themselves a chance to show their fellow Americans just how they can turn this country around. That's what Nader Gonzalez campaign is really all about. That's why we want people to sign on to our email list. Whether they vote for us or not, they'll get a really exciting take on the presidential campaign. And if they choose to, they can make financial contributions online to votenader.org. Obviously, we don't take commercial contributions, just individuals.
Votenader.org, easy to remember. Well, it seems that we need to lead by example and to show the citizenry that an engaged, aware person, and I think that you are the epitome of that. And I think that you've done exactly that and been able to stand up there and be the standard bearer for being an engaged citizen.
Well, I know no other way, so it's easy.
Make it look easy. Well, and I want to congratulate you also. Just a short time ago, today, you won the nomination for the California Peace and Freedom Party.
Yes, we're very pleased, Matt Gonzalez and I. Matt, of course, is a leading civil rights lawyer in the San Francisco Bay Area, so he's going to be going up and down California. And we hope more people pay attention to the Peace and Freedom Party and its agenda. It's been around for 40 years.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thanks, Dutch.
Absolutely.